Thank you very much, Skylar, for that introduction. And maybe to add on something that you have left out is that for community, as a volunteer to the community, I'm also a member of a school board, and I spearhead culture of academic excellence that is in one of the high schools. So that is what I do for the community. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, HR colleagues. It's good to have you today, and it is good, and thank you so much, JCVs, for giving me this opportunity to just come and share a few tips on the future of work and HR role in a changing landscape.
1,000 plus 1,002 trillion.
Pauline, you are muted. You're muted. Pauline, you're muted. Hello, Pauline. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So I was saying that thank you very much and good evening, HR colleagues and ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to have you on this call today to just unravel the future of work and HR in a changing landscape and HR role in a changing landscape. So thank you very much, JCVs, for giving me this opportunity. And I would like us to have the session interactive by ensuring that we put our questions on the chat or comments that align to this topic for today. So to start with, I'd like you to just put on the chat this question: what do you think is the future of work? So as you put that is number one. So what do you think is the future of work? So Skylar, you can be checking out what the inputs will be. And then I would like you to also tell us what drives the fundamental, what do you think drives the fundamental of work? So as you put in, we can look at that as we progress. So allow me to put up my presentation. I can see the comments coming in. No, that is a question. So kindly put your questions on your answers on the chat on what you think is the future of work. So, and the second question, as I've said, is what drives the fundamental transformation of work. So as you put in, I will allow me to share my presentation so that at least we can move on. So 1 minute for that. Let me know when you see the presentation.
Can see it.
Okay. Fine. So let's unravel this. And to start with, so what is the future of work, or what is driving that fundamental transformation? One of the things that the future of work is transformed, transformation is driven by technological advancement. And this is where you are finding a lot of automation, a lot of AI, a lot of generative AI, a lot of, in terms of chat boxes, use of cloud, use of bots, and ensure and a lot of automation of all the processes and all the systems that we work with. The second thing is the shifting demographics and mindsets. What does it mean? Is that we have a vast demographic aspects in terms of age, gender, race. So all these demographics are changing on how the future of work will look like, and the mindsets of each and every individuals that are in the space. Also evolving employee expectations. So evolving employee expectations involve a lot of employees are now having, they are looking for fair compensation. They are looking for work with job security. They are looking for opportunities for growth, supporting work environment, recognition, and rewards. They are looking for work-life balances. So all these things evolve around the employee expectations. These three factors are the ones that are driving the fundamental transformation of the future of work. So what are the forces that are shaping work? One of it, and today we are going to unravel 5 of them. I know there are many, but I would like us to unravel the 5 of them that are key in facing or in shaping work. And one of these is AI and automation integration. So what is AI? Maybe you can put in the chat. So what do you think AI is? Skylar, are there any reactions?
Yes, the answers to what people think the future of work is, not yet on AI, but we have Morgan saying it is more advanced and cross-disciplined. Christine says digital transformation. Caroline says there's a move. Kindly mute yourself when you join. Okay. Sorry for that. I was saying, Caroline is saying that there's a move towards more flexible, human-centered, and digitally integrated environments. On what AI is, Samuel says it's automation integration.
Yes. Or in other words, artificial intelligence. Thank you very much for those reactions. Yes, it is, and you are right in your comments or in your answers. So let us unravel what is AI. AI means artificial intelligence, and what AI is doing is transforming HR beyond basic automation. So how is it doing? This is AI is ensuring that at the workplace that systems become automated, HR processes too, and you'll find that AI is helping in screening, resume screening, candidates matching, streaming, and ensuring that communication is well aligned, that makes employee experience more effective. So what AI is also doing is it is analyzing patterns and behaviors that are able to help us identify top talent in any organization. So this is making the teams more effective, and AI is also making sure that, or is also enabling that tasks to be automated, creating a demand for strategic and creating emotional intelligence skills. So what are these myths about? We hear about AI. One of the myths we hear about AI is that AI thinks like a human being. Is that so? I don't think so. So AI does not think like a human being. AI processes data and recognizes patterns. So the myths that you get to hear on the spaces that AI is acts like a human being, it is not. So that is purely a myth. The other thing is that AI will take over our jobs. I don't think that is it. That is because what is expected is that AI is expected to change how we work, and this change of how we work ensures that productivity is enhanced, and therefore creating more jobs and creating more opportunities. AI also makes our work more accurate and quick. Therefore, AI does not take over jobs. What it does, AI will take jobs for those ones who are not willing to adopt AI. So because AI will be the thing in terms of ensuring that all work is done quick and fast and accurately. So that myth on AI taking our jobs is not true, because AI will only take jobs for those who are not be willing to adapt. So what is the benefit of AI? It boosts productivity. a lot of work that used to be done within a whole day can be done within an hour, because AI is able to get information. Whatever you feed it, it's going to give you the right information, and you're able to deliver in a shorter period than expected. So in terms of innovation, still a lot of use of AI in research and development, which makes it easier for coming up with trends and patterns based on the assistance from the research and development. The other thing is economic growth and prosperity, because when productivity is boosted, then it means that our economy will grow, and a lot of prosperity in terms of our GP, our productivity. So this is one of the many AI is gonna do, and at the end of it, we are going to see how is it that HR is what is the HR role in this? And one of it is that HR should establish policies around use of AI, so that at least we are able to tackle the ethical issues and the use of and the data privacy. The other thing is that HR should promote AI literacy and continuous learning. So because we are moving into a world where AI has become part and parcel of our work. So as HR, what we are supposed to do is to ensure that this AI, all our staff are able to are literate on use of AI, use of the tools, which includes all the tools that are AI enabled. That is the ChatGPT, the cloud, and so on and so forth. So the other thing is that HR should ensure that should enhance leadership capabilities. This one will HR is tasked with ensuring that our leaders also adopt AI, because AI will help them deliver or come up with data-driven decisions that will be able to enhance their leadership capabilities. So the other thing is creating AI-ready infrastructure. You've seen the data centers in our organizations, and HR should be in the front line on ensuring that the infrastructure, in terms of ensuring that these AI tools are used, they are available to the staff, and anytime, any day. So HR should ensure that infrastructure is there for it for the AI to be effective. The other thing is reskilling and upskilling employees so that they're able to embrace the technology. So those are the role of AI and the role of HR in AI and automation integration. So let's look at the second key thing, which is employee well-being and inclusion. So what does it mean? Initially or before, when you mention employee well-being, what used to come into our mind is just the physical well-being, and we have a shift that now that holistic well-being is holistic. It does not only include physical; it also includes mental, emotional, financial, social, and also career health. So, in terms of physical, so what is it that is there in our workspace? How is the physical structure of the workspace? How are we dealing with our ergonometrics? How are we treating our breaks? How is the work environment? Are we being provided with everything that we need? So that is a key focus. In terms of mental, so mental is very broad, because currently we are dealing with issues to do with stress management, stresses, anxiety, depressions. So it is employee well-being includes even those aspects of mental well-being. Come to financial. We've seen instances where our well-being is being affected by our financial capabilities or our financial mismanagement. You find that most of our employees are being pulled down by the financial mismanagement. So that is part of well-being. Socially, how do we treat one another in the office or in the work environment? So, and what about career health? Are our jobs very distinct? Do we have JDs? Do we have clear career paths for employee? So holistic well-being includes all those aspects: physical, mental, emotional, financial, social, and also career health. So when we are looking at the holistic well-being, these are the factors that we'll be considering. So the other thing is the flexible work arrangements, that support our mental health and financial wellness tools. So this include work from home. It includes flexi working hours. Those are also aligned with the employee wellness. What about virtual health apps? We are finding, or what we are seeing is that organizations are coming up with health apps, the virtual apps that help employees to just key in and just put in how they are feeling. So and by this, the employees can get instant feedback on, you need to see a doctor. This is not good. Your BP is this can be as a result of stress. So we have the MyDawa that is there. So also organizations are trying to ensure that these health apps are there so that they give real-time monitoring and access to care. So regular check-ins and peer support groups are also part of the employee well-being, and leadership and culture integration. So we are looking into a point whereby wellness is supposed to be inculcated in the leadership. Remember, when leadership have that culture of wellness, wellness, they'll be conscious in how they treat the staff in terms of stressing them, listening to them, giving them solutions to their problems. So when we have this, this should be integrated in the culture, and so HR should drive this and ensure that employee well-being is also integrated in the culture. What about then real-time feedback tools? This one is that they empower employees to voice concerns and shape culture. So what tools have we put in the organization? And mostly we have this anonymous feedback in terms of what do you feel? How are you feeling about your line manager? How are you feeling about the organization? What change would you like? So all this will help ensure that an employee is holistically well. Then psychological safety and trust. Have we created a psychological safety environment where staff is able to mind other people's feelings? They're able to voice out in case of anything. They're able to pinpoint anything that needs to be changed. They're able to mind other people's feeling. So HR should ensure that at least our staff are self-aware, so that when they are relating to each other, they're able to know that whether they are stressing or whether they are inflicting on their colleagues' well-being. So employee well-being and inclusion is a very fundamental key, and that is what we're shaping, what is the future of HR. So as I had mentioned earlier, initially we thought what came into our mind when you talked about wellness or well-being was only physical, but with the incorporation of all this, it becomes inclusive, and that is where the future of work is going to. The other thing is in terms of also the HR. In HR's role in this, as I had mentioned earlier, also tailoring programs that are able to reflect unique needs, and also fostering a work-life balance and flexibility, and also designing holistic wellness programs. So the other thing that is very crucial in terms of embedding wellness into the culture is in instigating a culture of inculcating a culture of empathy, balance, and inclusion. So if as HR, if we are able to incorporate these trends, we are going to be able to hack it in the future, in the future of work. The other key factor is hybrid work models. If we look back on 2019, the time for COVID, that is when work from home came to be, though other companies used to do it. But the organizations and people are able to see that we are able to work from home effectively. So the future is that this model is here to stay. And this model blends remote and in office and offers flexibility while maintaining collaboration. Keyword collaboration, such that when you are off or when you are working from home, you are still collaborating with the staff, with your team members at the workspace. So, and this model will focuses on core hours. Focus on core hours and focus time rather than office days. It's no longer the days where you used to be seen in the office from 8 to 5. It is what is it that you're bringing on the table? Are you able to meet your deliverables? Are you able to meet what you're expected to do? So it's no longer on the time that you're seen in the office, it is what you are delivering. And this model is also ensuring that is also moving the result-based versus attendance tracking. What does it mean? Is that you are looking at what is it that you are bringing to the table? What are your results apart from being seen there? Also, in terms of hybrid, there is the flexibility. Look at the time we take in commuting to work. And research has shown that organizations that adopt flexibility and work from home retain and attract talent. So as HR, we should ensure that we also adopt these models to ensure that we retain our best talent, we give employees ample time to rethink and ample time to have work done, because it will reduce a lot of commuting and a lot of time taken to ensure that to be there. So what are the benefits? One, it has been shown that hybrid work models increase productivity and autonomy. And also the other benefits is that when we embrace flexibility, we are able to also attract a broader talent pool. You can have someone who works in out of the country and still is part of your expatriates. They don't need to be physically present. So as HR, we are able to attract a broader talent pool. Reduction of overhead costs, the time, the cost that the amenities where our staff use in the office, use water, electricity, and so forth. So by hybrid work models, you are still working, but you are, there are no costs in terms of electricity, in terms of water, in terms of so many amenities that you use while in the office. The other thing is enhanced employee satisfaction and retention. As I'd mentioned earlier, research has been done and a conclusion made that employees who work remotely feel a bit more satisfied, and therefore they feel that they have autonomy of work, and retention is paramount in those. So the other thing is that HR is supposed to come up with policies that support this flexible schedules and remote working. So these are policies that will guide employees on how to navigate work from home, in terms of even the data privacy, how they're supposed to use their tools while at home, office tools while they're at home, how they're supposed to communicate when working remotely. So the role of HR here is to ensure that they come up with policies that support these schedules. The other thing is that the role of HR in this is that there will be recruitment beyond geographical boundaries. A diverse talent is also HR is also able to attract this because of work. So let us unravel the fourth one: diversity, equity, and inclusion. So organizations, or the future of work, is those organizations that will be able to embrace diversity. And diversity means presence of differences in background, background and experience. That is age, race, gender, religion, disability. And equity means that there's fair treatment across all board, by recognizing people who start from people who start from different places, or people who who come from different places, who have different ideologies, ensuring that there is fairness, fair treatment. The inclusion, on the other hand, means that you are creating a culture where everyone feels valued. And with this framework, organizations are able to create fair, respectful, and welcoming environments for people from people of diverse backgrounds. So diversity, equity, and inclusion is a deliberate thing that organizations are adopting to ensure that they cope with the future of work. So it also unlocks creativity and innovation, because the moment you allow people to be themselves, the moment you apply equity, the moment you are fair, the moment you are able to acknowledge, or you are able to appreciate people or staff regardless of their religion, regardless of your age, they have that, they feel that sense of belonging, and they are able to unlock a lot of creativity. They are able to innovate, whereby this increases employee performance. So what is the role of HR in this? One, so HR role in ensuring that there is diversity, equity, and inclusion. One is to foster inclusive recruitment and hiring. So what is HR tasked with? Ensuring that during recruitment and hiring, this is considered. How is it considered? One, ensuring as HR, you can ensure that as we are putting up our job adverts, it's good to state that you do not discriminate. Apart from stating what are those steps that you normally do, you can even opt to have to encourage applicants and leave out their names, and maybe put their telephone numbers, such that when you are shortlisting, so that you are not biased, or you are not biased, you'll be able to find a good CV and call the candidate. That's when you'll get to know the name from the contacts in the CV. So, and other things, ensuring that even shortlisting, ensuring that you are not biased, ensuring that you are intentional in ensuring that in terms of recruitment, if you are recruiting 10, 5 are men, 5 are ladies. So being intentional in that. So the other thing that HR should do is also to develop policies that address diversity, equity, and inclusion. And how would these policies be? One of it is that you should be very deliberate in these policies, stating maybe, for example, that you'll consider people with disability out of a certain recruitment, out of a certain department. This is the number of men versus ladies, and so on and so forth. So coming up with policies that will guide the management, will guide the employees in terms of, or will guide the recruiters in the way of ensuring that all this is included. Training for leaders and hiring managers, so that they know, or they're intentional, and they know what they're supposed to look out for when they're having when they're having their staff in the organization. And also training them on how to foster equity, how to foster inclusion, and also how to respect employees in their rightful manner. So training of leaders and hiring managers, very key. Then the other thing is monitoring in as you put in the policies. So you keep on monitoring, giving reports. How are we doing in terms of our gender? How are we doing in terms of our of the gender issues, of the gender numbers? And in terms of maybe how many do we have as a disability? Have we considered? Are we, so such monitoring, so that we inform the organization that we should align to the DAI. The other one is leadership accountability. Put leadership into to accountable. And such that they're able to also, in their mind, they're able to know that the diversity, inclusion, DAI is supposed to be adopted. The other thing is HR we are supposed to promote a culture of inclusion. What does that mean? That our culture should be that should be a culture that embraces the DAI, because that is the main thing, or that is the future of HR. And our last one is on multi-generational workforce with different values. We all appreciate that we are working in an environment where we have different generations. And this is with us, and we must be able to adopt that. So the future of HR, the future of work is the future of work is where organizations will try to understand, will try to appreciate the different generations that are there in the workforce. And how will that be attained? By understanding the different generations that they are. And because these generations have different values, and these values are shaped by their era. For example, if these generations are characterized by the feedbacks, the communication, the work by bands, they're so different, and the technological adoption among many. So it is the work of the organization, or the organizations should strive to ensure that they adopt or they understand the different generations. For example, we have about 7 generations, and we have the Alpha generation that is almost coming into the market. We also have the Gen Zs, and they are characterized by a lot of tech savviness. They are transparent. They value diversity. So organizations will have to understand how is this age group supposed to be treated? What motivates them? What is it that they look out for? So look at the millennials. They are purpose driven. They like a lot of collaboration, and mostly they look at growth opportunities. So, but for Gen Zs will ask, what is in it for me, for us? They will question. So by understanding the different generations styles and communication and what drives them, will ensure that there is a lot of work cohesion in the workplace. Gen Z, Gen X, they're independent. They embrace work-life balance. Baby boomers, they're hard work. They like recognition. They like stability. And the silent generation, so them, they are loyalty, they respect hierarchy. So different styles or different values shape this generation. So organizations that are very keen on how this workforce is being is supposed to be helped, or to be helped, will be able to perform or get a lot of productivity from this staff. So what is the work of HR in this? HR should ensure that they tailor make benefits according to this generation. So what pleases them? So what is it that they would like to say? Then the other thing is to foster inclusive communication, whereby the communication channels. So you will find that Gen Zs like a lot of chats, and they value chats, Facebook, they value TikTok, as opposed to the millennials. Millennials will like emails. So there's a mix of tools that these generations vary from different generations. So HR is supposed to have that inclusive communication channels to ensure that they meet all these generational workforce. The other thing is respect and collaboration, respect and recognition, and celebrate these contributions. So this means that HR should ensure that their recognition programs, acceptance, and to this generation. So also getting to see what ticks for them, and recognize and come up with recognition programs based on that. Also creating leadership opportunities. So HR should ensure that all these generations are able to lead in their own aspect. So, for example, there's one of the organizations that was telling us they include even the Gen Zs in their board meetings, so that because they have knowledge, they have the current trends. So as HR, we should incorporate these leadership capabilities and create these opportunities for all the generations so that we are able to foster an effective work. So what is the call to action? So after the 5 key areas that we have spoken about, what is the call to action? One of it is that HR should be talent architects. What does that mean? HR should come up with and should design agile and skill-based teams. So HR should be on the front notch of ensuring that there is a lot of designing agile, skill-based teams, designing programs to ensure that the future of work is well tackled. The other thing is that HR should be culture champions. What does it mean? Is that HR should ensure that it builds inclusive and resilient cultures to ensure that all these 5 factors and more are incorporated, becomes the way of doing things in an organization. Because Peter Drucker said that culture is strategy for breakfast. So no matter how good our strategies are, or no matter how good our plans and our priorities are, if our culture is not right, if the organization culture is not right, then it means this cannot be achieved. So our call to action is to ensure that we build we build an enabling culture. Also, HR should be able to adapt to technological changes. So as the world is moving towards technology savvy, HR should also be at the forefront in ensuring that we also move on time with times. Then strategic advisor. So HR should align the people's strategy with business goals. So ensuring that whatever that is in the space, and ensuring that all the people's strategies is aligned with the business strategy. And also change leader, because all this is calling to change. So HR should be a change leader in guiding digital and workforce transformation. The other thing HR should do as a call to action is reimagine our roles in the new landscape. So how do we reimagine our roles to adapt to these changes? So we are also not going to be left behind. So we are going to ensure that we imagine our roles in the new landscape and also explore new work models. So how is it that is so? If it is AI, are we also AI savvy? Are we able to embrace this AI technology? The other thing is HR should do is also create environments where individuals thrive and feel valued, because all this, the future of work, it belongs to those belongs to those people, to organizations that thrive in terms of productivity. And this productivity we cannot be attained when HR has not created that environment. So HR should be at the forefront in ensuring that there is a culture, or there is a culture of an environment where productivity and people are valued. HR should also adopt agility, innovation, and also people-centric in their approach. So consider people, be agile as the world is moving, and also prioritize the employee well-being. Remember, we said that well-being is holistic. So HR should be at the forefront in ensuring that there's employee well-being is fostered in and also ensure so that we can be able to achieve a high performance organizations. And I'll end there, and thank you so much for listening. I'll invite any reactions or questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pauline, for that. Thank you so much for that. Yes, so if you have any questions or comments, maybe you can even share with us what you've done as a HR, whether it's a DI framework, as we've talked about. We give you your flowers over here. Whether it's EAP programs that you've done for your employees, maybe you could be giving the rest of us tips, just as Pauline has done. And definitely, and also call those call to actions that have, urged us also to look back at what we're doing and if we can do it better, or generally if there's a better way to, do it, adopt different plans, different strategies, definitely. Billy says it was an insightful presentation. Thank you so much, Pauline. Thanks, Billy, for sharing that. Paul, yes, you can go ahead. You can unmute and talk to us. Paul, I can see you've raised your hand. You can go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that was really a masterpiece, a great presentation by Pauline on this important topic of looking at human resource in a new landscape. I totally agree with exactly what actually she has mentioned today in terms of how actually the human resource is ensuring that there's also the human connection in everything that we do, and in particular about technological transformation that has been mentioned, which is actually accelerating the pace of work and even making sure that there's efficiency and greater effectiveness. I think my quick add on that will be how also HR actually transforming to be a business partner, speaking the business language. So more and more actually find human resource professionals wherever they are going to different spaces and their business conversations. They're also taking part in that. They're able even to know what are the products and the services in the organization, and they're able actually to speak that particular language, so that they don't say, for instance, that me, I'm just a HR. I see more increasingly human resource actually going to function, going to different spaces, and they're actually delivering speeches and presentations on behalf of the entire organizations, where actually they speak the business language. So in terms of the future of work, is where actually all the employees in an organization are able actually to fit in different spaces and to speak about the infrastructure. They're able to market and even to generate business, and they don't have to confine themselves in a particular functions, because things can change and they have to be agile. And they have to move quickly from one task to another. So that's actually the kind of role that I see human resource playing in terms of even empowering staff, encouraging people, so that actually they are able to be a bit better versions of themselves every day. I think that's just my quick comments. And thank you so much, Pauline, for your wonderful presentation today.
Thanks so much, Paul. Thank you. Definitely agree with what you're saying. There are a lot of comments. Great presentation from Lorraine. Thanks a lot. Rabs has a question on what was the first item out of the 5 roles. It was AI. We started with the AI, then we went to employee well-being. We had the multi-generations. We had
hybrid.
Yes, hybrid and DEI.
Okay.
Lucky also says great presentation. Excellent presentation from Alice. So we have a question from Millie. To you, Pauline. What are some of the initiatives or programs you've implemented at your workplace to support the DI concepts? Also, what has worked and what has not?
Okay. So thank you so much, Millie, for that question, which is very timely. And at my workplace, we have been able to deliberately ensure that put in the DEI into action. And one of the strategies we have made is that we are deliberate in hiring and ensuring that we are able to hire based on fairness and regardless of age, regardless of sex, regardless of religion. So we are able to bring in talent that are all inclusive, and we do not and we are not biased in any way. The other thing that we have been able to do is to ensure that we maintain our demographics in terms of the ratio of men to ladies, and currently we are at 49 and 50%, 49% being ladies and 50% being men. So that is something we have been able to achieve as an organization. The other thing that we have been able to do is that we have been able to create a culture of inclusion, a culture of we have been able to have everyone feeling valued. We have so many programs that we are at. We have a house concept whereby we have each and every member of the staff of staff it belongs to a certain house, whereby we all put in we do our quizzes, we do our team buildings, just to ensure that we create that inclusivity and everyone feels valued, everyone feels appreciated. We also have we have also come with programs that like employee engagement survey, whereby we encourage feedback on what is it that we need to work on as an organization, what is it that we need to, what are the feelings of the employees, and also in terms of, we have a rate my service. So when an employee performs exemplarily, we encourage people to rate and say, I was assisted by Pauline and this is how I feel. So, or this is supposed to be done, or this is the thing that should be improved. So those are among the many initiatives that we have done to ensure that DEI is incorporated in the organization.
Wow. Thank you. I'm sure we can definitely all take note of that. If it's something you're not currently doing, maybe it's something to think about. Robs is asking if there's anybody working in the public service, and do you have space in the decision making where you can implement some of the rules, some of these rules? No, personally, I am not. But if anybody is in the chat, and I think maybe Pauline, we can speak to it. You can speak to it maybe, and how you feel one can go about it.
So what was the question, please?
It's about if you're working in the public service, and is there really that space for the decision making where you can implement some of the rules that we've talked about this evening?
Okay, so I think there are, and as I have mentioned, that organizations, regardless of whether they are corporate or civil service, they are all aligned to looking at how work will be in the future. So I believe these initiatives are there, and even in the public service, because HR space or HR professionals are across the board, even in the public sectors. So I think, and I believe these are also things that the public sector is also focusing on.
Thank you. Thank you for that response. Margaret says, very insightful. Thanks, Pauline. So, okay, I know the clock is 9 p.m. And if there are no other questions or comments, really grateful for everybody who was able to tune in. Thank you, Pauline, for being our speaker this evening and answering to our call as well at JCVs to come on board and have this discussion tonight. besides that, I did mention that a side note, JCVs does have events or activities beyond the, events like this, the online platforms. And so we do have, most importantly, we do have our Ignite training program. If you haven't, we share it in our groups, we share it in our channel, and I'm sure most of us are a part of those platforms that we run, also on our LinkedIn page as well. So our Ignite training program is basically to help you level up, and it's going to be a very personalized approach to how we can better help you position yourself, especially when it comes to your CV, as well as coaching for your interviews. And what we mean every time we talk about an ATS compliant CV and cover letter and the like. So for this program that we're running, which is starting next month, so if you're not on this, if you're not about this train yet, you should definitely look for us. And so it's the facilitation fee is only at a small fee of 2,000 shillings, but it's definitely worth every penny for these engaging sessions, where you'll have a very able trainer, Jay Walemba himself. Now, we also do have a more like a hangout happening sooner rather than later. So it's going to be happening on the 16th. That's about 2 weeks away, and we welcome everybody. I think for that, I could just quickly share that. Let me see if I... Okay. Can't really trace it, but anyway. So for the hangout that we're going to be having, both whether you are a client or just you just engage with us in one way or another on our various different platforms, whether it's on our channel, whether it's on our WhatsApp groups, whether it's here, the webinars, and other social media platforms, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be. We welcome you. It is on the 16th of August, as I've said. That is going to be on a Saturday. So if you don't really have plans, we've got you covered. We've got an amazingly planned day, just to hang out, just to unwind after a long week, and just to enjoy each other's company also, and as well as network. And that is what's going for a small fee of 1,000. Only we're going to be at Arboretum, so it's a really chill day. It's not that far. I believe if you work within the town area, it's easily accessible to you. And we invite everybody who is able and doesn't seem to have plans on that day. We'll be there, ready to receive you, ready to engage you as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this evening. Really, really appreciate you, Pauline, as well as our speakers. I think I'd like to invite Alvin, if you're in the chat. I'm hoping you're still around, to close for us